I sometimes don't get the Vegas lines, of course, but they know what they're doing. They make all the money. But 8 points, that means they are telling us that Miami is decidedly a better team, but it's not by some great margin. To put that in perspective.
Sorry, let me cut you off really quickly.
Sure.
It opened at 6. It's been bet up to 9.
Okay, it's at 9. Okay, that means people like Miami, which had I seen it at 6, I would have too, and may still do the same thing. Because again, I was thinking 17, 18 points.
Yeah. I was thinking about probably 13 and a half. I'm a big half pointer. You guys know from recruiting weekends, I always like to put the half in there.
Oh, yeah. You want to break the tie.
Exactly.
You don't want to walk away with a push. But
exactly.
To put that in perspective,
yeah.
Oregon is recruiting better than anyone in the Pac-12. They're bringing in top 10 classes. They won the Rose Bowl 2 years ago. We know who Oregon is. They're a 14-point underdog at Ohio State. That's a 14-point spread.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway,
but I also think that hints back to what Vegas thinks of this coaching staff and the ability of this team in a couple of probably key areas for them. You know what
that they may slop around. Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, if you're talking about from where I was, at least at 13 and a half down to 6, that's a touchdown from there. A little bit more than that for you. Like 12 points off of what you were maybe thinking. But yeah, you could see, okay, if, and again, just spitballing here, I can see where they're like, okay, cool. Yeah. We're going to take off a touchdown or take off 12, 14 points from what you might think because of, Chase Bryce there, solid coaching staff, veteran team, solid performance in week 1. Miami showed some major deficiencies, in week 1, although it's against the biggest, baddest team in the world, but whatever. And, you kind of do those things to give that. But, yeah.
I would get the 8 points on the road. I would get that. And again, I'm no expert at this. I don't do it professionally or anything, but I on a regular basis, if somebody quizzes me, if that's what you want to call it, and says, here are this week's games, give me the lines, I'm usually within a point to 2 points on everything. And so 8 points blew me away, it being a home game for Miami. The game that came up, and of course, we'll have a full week to talk about it, so let's not get ahead of ourselves, but I got to say, in seeing what Michigan State did to Northwestern, I suddenly got more interested in the potential matchup, which it's more than potential. It's on the schedule coming up. Just knowing that Miami is more talented, but Michigan State, they're not going to be wowed by any circumstances or setting, and they'll come and they'll be very physical. We know that.
I said it. And when you asked me this summer, I said, which is a sneaky game that maybe you are looking at more than other people, Cam? And I said Michigan State. And I stick with it because I've seen them be physical. I've seen them outperform their roster level. I've seen them coach over their heads. I've seen them come up with these incredible performances in these big moments that we look for and have not had from Miami in recent years. I've seen Michigan State do that over the course of 30-something years, whether it's Michigan, O State, Penn State, Wisconsin, Purdue, and Drew Brees was there, and they're running through everybody. You look at bowl games, you look at other matchups. I've seen them, circle the wagons, burn the boats, boss up, whatever you want to call it. I've seen that from the Michigan State Spartan football program in a long, over the course of many years. And so, again, just being who I am and where I'm from, that's a game that I've looked to maybe potentially be a little bit more of a stumbling block than other people. And yeah, after that opening, win and that running back from Wake Forest transferred there and looked really, really strong. That's definitely not going to be, I don't think, a 44-13 Miami win, but if it is, I would love it.
Yeah, Chase Bryce, for you ACC fans, may remember that he stepped in for Trevor Lawrence against Syracuse. It was one of the Syracuse efforts against Clemson when they scared Clemson on Trevor Lawrence's freshman season, the eventual national champion that went undefeated, but had Clemson on the ropes. He came in, he threw a dime on a 4th and 6 that saved the game. They were going to lose the game, give up the ball like a minute left, lost the game, pulled through on that. He has since been to Duke. Didn't have much of a season last year, threw more picks and TDs, and has moved on to App State. Had a nice little 17 for 27 day, couple touchdown passes, no picks, and they got a couple 100-yard rushers coming back from their win against East Carolina. So, well-coached operation. They're going to be in the right places. They're going to fight. They're going to scratch. They're going to claw. There's going to be an obvious athleticism differential that's going to be evident from time to time or frequently, but it'll be interesting.
I talked about this last week. When is the next time that Miami's going to come out, hit somebody in the mouth, 21-0, 24-0, first, second quarter? Last year, Florida State notwithstanding, because they were one of the most atrocious outfits that I've ever seen. But when are we going to be on the good foot? Know what they're doing, stop everything that they're doing, do what we do, and add different things, and have them just, I don't know. When are we going to have that performance a la the first half against Notre Dame in 2017 when they got hit by a Mack truck and they didn't know what in the world? Tommy Reese is on the sideline holding his head. He's a freshman looking like a deer in the headlights. You got the girl in the stands plugging her ears because it was so loud in Hard Rock Stadium because we're up 27-0 with 4 minutes left in the second quarter. Right? When are we going to see that kind of a performance from Miami again? It's going to be, I don't know when, but more often than not, every week that I'm tweeting and watching, every week that we come back here, a little bit of a slow start. It was 14-3, and then a little bit of a slow start. It was, whatever. When are we, as a coaching staff, as a program, going to put that behind us and not have that be the mode of operations, and then go and hit somebody in the mouth and take it to them and score first? And, things like give them the ball, stop them, which we had the opportunity to on a couple of third downs against Alabama and couldn't. Get the ball, go down there and score. When are we going to have that? When was the last time that we saw that? You know what I mean? It's a lot of middling starts for Miami, and then we got to rally at halftime and do these adjustments and try to come back and maybe extend the lead that's 14-10 or 13-12 or whatever. Those are the kind of things that I want to see as well, and every week is an opportunity to be better. Every week is a chance to improve, and I know that we need to fight all the way to the end of every game, and I know that winning a game is hard, let alone winning as many games as we believe that we should win this year. But God damn it, I need to see it be different. You know what I mean? Like, why not? It's us against the world anyway, and it's that for every single team. Nobody really wants you to win. So why don't you come in there and play with that chip on your shoulder? Why does it have to be halftime and you're down 14-10? Hypothetically speaking. You're down 14-10 at halftime against Appalachian State. And then, as a program and a coaching staff, that's the point that you say, hey, let's really look at everything. Let's really dig deep, and let's really find a way out of this hole. How about you don't dig the hole? You know what I mean? We got this beautiful green fairway. How about we walk here? How about we go and do this? How about we don't dig the hole that we have to get out of? How about we look and we go forward in a positive way from the beginning? Why don't we have this same kind of fire that you'll see out of a Manny Diaz coach team before halftime, coming out of the tunnel, right? Why don't we ever see that? And we talk about all these great adjustments and things like that. And that's a thing to be proud of, because yes, you need to be able to read the game, how it's going, and develop. But that also speaks to the fact of, if you had to change everything at halftime, which has been the case, what are you doing during the week that's been so ill-gotten that now you got to scrap all that to do something different in the second half? Like, these are the things that are frustrating, and I know that it's maybe magnified a little bit against Alabama because they have the talent advantage over Miami that Miami has over most other teams. So again, they're going to extend these things out. They're going to take a play that should have been 20 yards and go 94. They're going to take one that should have been 15 and Trey Sanders gets, R2 skipped, over or R1, sorry, the jump skip cut, and then he gets into the end zone. Those things. But there's other things with this program that I want to see improve. And we saw some of those things come to the fore last week, and then it went the way that it went. And it needs to turn around really quickly, because if you let an Appalachian State hang around, we've seen how those games can go, albeit for other teams. You know, they went into Tennessee and won a couple years ago. Luke Scott was talking about they went to Carolina and won a couple years ago. You know what I mean? It's not the exact same team. It's not the exact same personnel and everything. And you don't even need to center it on Appalachian State. Mark, name me another team who's done that. Memphis? Louisiana Tech? You know, they hang around for a little bit and then they beat a big boy?
Sure.
Troy?
LSU.
You let a team like that hang around and you give them enough opportunities, and they're going to take advantage of one. How about we don't give them that chance? How about at 7 o'clock at Hard Rock Stadium this weekend on ESPNU, Miami comes out in the first half with a solid showing, is up 17-7 or 23-6. Gets the ball in the second half, scores again, extends out that lead, and really shows that there's a clear difference on the field between their team and ours. How about that? Because I would prefer that. But if you let a team like this hang around, I'm telling you, because you see me getting charged up a little bit on the hypothetical. I promise you, if we lose this game, come next week, Wednesday, this is not a show you're going to want to miss, because it's going to be, don't let that happen. Go out here and win this game. Don't let that happen. Don't let that happen.